Hey you guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel where I help you guys stay uplifted, motivate you, and find peace amongst yourself. So if you're interested in these type of videos, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up by leaving a like. Make sure you're commenting down below and make sure you're subscribed by turning the notification bell on. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. Today is Saturday, September 18th, 2021. It's 4:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going on 5 o'clock p.m. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. I hope you guys are practicing daily, staying hydrated, and driving safely, as well as following me on my Instagram and my Twitter at Ty_guidance and on Facebook at Talks with Ty to stay up to date. So for today's video, we will go over and discuss how we can clear our minds from anxiety. What has helped me along my journey when it comes to understanding my mental health, as well as understanding myself, my emotions, and my thoughts, as well as perceiving life and others, was to reflect, take my time, and understand that I am not alone. Something that I like to do in my videos when it comes to suggesting and advising information is looking at the title/topic and picking out words from the title/topic and defining them by breaking them down by using a dictionary or the source. And the reason for this is not only to reassure you all what these words mean, as well as how they may affect you, but to understand how you're able to perceive it, how you're going to process them. So the words that I chose for the title/topic for today were clear and anxiety. And what I've been doing is breaking down these words, explaining them to you. So when we go over and discuss the overall topic/title, we have a better understanding. Now, you may have heard of these words or you may not. I have not been in school, like high school, in a long time. And what I've realized, what has helped me along my journey when it comes to understanding myself, is to grow, and as well as refreshing my mind and educating myself. So, how do we clear our minds from anxiety? So, the first word I'm going to define for you all is clear. Clear could be used as an adjective, an adverb, or a verb. Clear is to have an understanding or to interpret, easy to perceive. So something that is clear is understandable or has a comprehension. Understandable means you're able to understand something that is meant to be understood. Something that is clear can be transparent or unclouded. The word transparent is a material or article allowing light that passes through the object so it could it can be seen distinctly. The word clear means to be completely. To use the word clear as a verb, it means that you're removing something that is unwanted, or to empty, to free, to remove. And the word empty means to remove from all of items. Now, the word anxiety could be used as a noun. Anxiety is when you're feeling worried. Anxiety is when you're nervous or have unease, typically about an event or something or something that is uncertain. Anxiety is the desire to do something, typically with unease. So worrying, being concerned, apprehension, or eagerness. The word worry is when you have anxiety and you're uncertain of potential problems. Eagerness is when you have the enthusiasm to do something. And lastly, the word desire is when you have a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. So how do we clear our mind from anxiety? What I realized what has helped me along my journey to understand that I had anxiety or that I was suffering from it was to understand physically how my body felt. You see, our minds are always going to be active. So, rather we're suffering from depression or anxiety, understanding physically how we're responding and how we react to certain environments and situations. So for me, what has helped me along my journey when I had to realize that I was suffering from anxiety was to see how my body was. So, for example, if somebody has anxiety or if you're suffering from anxiety, you may feel overwhelmed. So, like your body physically may feel tense, you may feel frustrated, you may physically feel like you may have to cry, or you may not be aware that your body is overwhelmed. So, what I would like to suggest and advise is taking some time to breathe. So, really quickly, before I continue, I'm going to give you guys an example and show you what I like to do, which is taking time to breathe. And I know you're thinking we breathe naturally, but when you're able to relax your breathing and control your breathing, you're able to see if your body is jittery or if you feel stressed, whether you suffered from PTSD or something that has happened to you, to feel overwhelmed. Because anxiety can come from having PTSD, from suffering, being exposed to traumatic situations, not having the emotional intelligence or the support to cope or realize. So, really quickly, I'm going to show you guys a breathing technique that I do that has helped me along my journey, that I use every single day or when I feel like I'm being overwhelmed. And all I do is take 3 big deep breaths in. I breathe through my nose and I breathe out my mouth, and I hold my breath in for 3 to 5 seconds. So I'm going to show you guys that really quickly 3 times. And if you would like to, you can do it with me or you can do it after. But I really do suggest and advise that you're able to, what is the word? Moderate or take time to pay attention to how you feel. So really quickly, let's go ahead. So I'm going to put my finger up and show you guys as I do it. So this is the first one. So we're going to breathe in. I'm going to do it one more time. And I'm going to do it one more time. And it's so important to regulate, is what I want to say. Regulate or moderate where your breathing is coming from, because we as people have 7 to 12 chakras. And in order for you to be aligned, in order for you to find peace, in order for you to heal, you have to understand where it is in your body that is not feeling well. Your mind naturally is always going to be active, and is like your mind is like the steering wheel. So let's just say our body is a car. Our mind is the steering wheel. So you control which direction. And in order for the car to move, you have to steer the steering wheel into the direction you want the car to go in. So our breath is the accelerator. So in order for us to move forward or to turn, we have to know how much weight we're putting down on the accelerator to control the speed of the direction we will go in. So whether you're breathing through your stomach, your chest, or your head or your mouth, you want to be able to understand how it's affecting you. And the reason why I suggest and advise to regulate where your breathing is coming from, because that may or may not help you. It may or may help you realize where you're suffering from. When we go through pain as people, because like I said, our body is just our shield and just the physical, we store trauma inside of ourselves. So me being a woman, when I suffered from having a miscarriage, my hormones, the pain that I suffered was down in my uterus. So all of the pain, all of the cramps that I had was in my uterus, which signaled to my mind to be overwhelmed, to have negative thoughts, to doubt myself, or because of my hormones inside of my body made me think and feel a certain type of way. So it's really important to understand and practice breathing so you're able to realize where you're holding built up trauma or any pain from. So after you're able to control your breathing, you're able to understand meditation. And practicing mindful meditation is something that's really helped me along my journey. Before I go to sleep, I meditate, and throughout the day, I meditate. And the reason why I suggest and advise meditating is because if you're all over the place, let's just say your mind is all over the place, when you're out in environments that make you feel uncomfortable, or you're not aware that you're uncomfortable in an environment, you're going to have repeated thoughts that are going to be rapid. And you do not want to overwhelm yourself. And in order for you to not continue to flare up your anxiety, or to have an anxiety attack, or to have a panic attack, you want to be mindful of how you feel. So physically, practicing breathing, working on meditation will allow you and help you to stay grounded. So when you take the time to do that, you're able to realize how your body is responding, as well as writing down how you feel. And this is something that I've been doing recently this year that has really helped me, because when I write down how I feel, and I have a pen or whatever writing utensil and a piece of paper and a notebook, I'm able to keep in mind of what I'm exposed to and how it triggers me. It's really important to be mindful of the thoughts and the energy that triggers you, because in order for you to heal, you have to realize, why am I having these thoughts? Why does my body respond this way? And why do I feel uncomfortable? So writing down how you feel is another tip, and another thing I would like to suggest and advise to you after you're able to control your breathing, because when you're writing down how you feel, you're able to see what you're thinking. So if you're thinking really negatively, or if you had really bad experiences with people and you keep all of your emotions in and you write them down, you realize what you are feeling. And in order to be aware of what you're feeling, writing down your thoughts and how you feel will allow you to determine and make the decision on why you thought this, or why you're projecting that. We as people can only project how we feel. So taking some time, writing down how you feel, or surrounding yourself with like-minded people. What I had to do, and what I've been doing recently this year, in the last couple of years as I've grown, was realize the type of company that I've had around me. I am a genuinely strong believer that the type of people you surround yourself with will affect you. And I know some people are like, well, I hang around people who do certain things and I don't do that. But you do not realize that you giving your time and energy to things that do not align and serve with you is now a part of what you're doing. And if you don't align yourself, if you do not agree, and what I mean by agree is having the same intentions, because you can have differences. It's okay to have differences, but if you do not have similar intentions of aspiration, you do not realize that you allowing people's energy that have nothing to do with you is a form of distraction and will hinder you. And you do not realize that you are degrading your value by tolerating something or someone that is not meant for you. And taking the time to separate yourself, to realize that if these people are genuine and have genuine aspiration and goals, it is not losing or removing, but helping you in realizing. And same thing, if people that you used to know, you're starting to outgrow, may not have the same aspirations as you in life, if you like to grow, to realize that they should not hold you back or hinder you or enable you, and that they respect the fact that you want to do better, because everybody in life is going to grow at their own pace. And that's another thing I want to get into, is as well as understanding your anxiety and clearing your mind from anxiety, is not to compare yourself or to look at other people. It is very delusional, this is my opinion, it's very delusional for you to physically compare yourself to someone who is not you. This is why me personally, when I've suffered with my insecurities, when I had stretch marks, it was because of myself. I've never physically looked at another female or individual and was like, oh, I wish I could look like them, or compared myself to them, because like I said, logically, the type of person I used to be before I learned to balance my emotions, that did not make any sense to me. It is not fair to sit here and compare yourself to somebody who is not you. Like I said, that's why I think it's very delusional. So being mindful of the company that you surround yourself with, or taking some time to yourself and knowing that you being by yourself is not a crime. If you think being by yourself is hard, if you do not like to be alone, you need to realize that having attachment issues is going to cause you to have anxiety. It is going to cause you to have a codependency, because people do not understand that as they grow, they have to align themselves with what their intentions are. So if you're around people and they're not for you, it's going to be harder for you to understand that maybe these people do not have the best interest for you. So taking some time to yourself, and for me, that is something I've never struggled with, was being alone, and understanding that if I am going to have social interactions, because I do believe that it's okay to be alone and not lonely, to surround myself and to be environments that are welcoming. Why would you want to be around people who do not appreciate your value or understand that you want to grow? But knowing that it's a choice. If you choose not to grow, if you choose not to heal, if you choose to be around people that are weighing you down, that do not have any genuine intentions, that the only person who is being affected by that is you. So understanding what you say, what you do, who you hang around, and practicing daily. Something that I realized what has helped me along my journey when it comes to clearing my mind and getting rid of anxiety is to stay grounded. So what I would like to tell you all, and something that I do personally, is starting to be mindful of my surroundings. So let's just say you're out and about and it's a lot of people and you're suffering from anxiety and you feel overwhelmed and you're just about to break down, have a panic attack. What I would like you to do, first things first, is take a big deep breath in. So and look and find 2 to 5 things around you. So for example, let's just say I was overwhelmed. In front of me, I have my laptop. I'm just gonna have this rose and these hair affinity pills. No, this is not sponsored, but if I am overwhelmed and my mind is racing, because your mind is always going to be active, taking the time to look around and find 2 to 3 things that stand out to ground you. When your mind is overwhelmed, you're constantly overthinking, you're stressing, and that's the same thing about being depressed. Your mind is not focused in the present. So for example, today is Saturday, September 18th, it is 5:20 p.m. A lot of people are either thinking too much about tomorrow, or thinking about the past, or thinking about things that happened 10 years ago, or thinking about what could happen in 20 years. In order for you to stay grounded, in order for you to clear your mind, you have to be focused. So in order to focus yourself and to stay in the present moment, what I suggest and advise is grounding yourself. So if you're out and about, like let's just say right now I had anxiety, what I would do is look around and find 2 to 3 things that stand out to me, so I'm able to realize that currently it is Saturday, it is 5:20, and right now, because I'm recording this video, my only focus should be the camera that is in front of me. So I have this flower, this pen, and these hair affinity pills. Or for you all, you guys can look at me, my background, and my calendar. Learn to look at your surroundings and breathe. Breathe. Take some time to breathe. As you start to look at your surroundings, you will realize that you can calm down, that you can relax, and that you do not need to be overwhelmed. So making sure that you ground yourself by breathing, like I said, to regulate and understand your breathing, and to look at your surroundings. So look at that flower and focused on your current surroundings, because when you're able to see things within your environment, you have the vision, you have the focus. So when it comes down to understanding and to clear your anxiety, you're able to pause, because if your mind is racing and you have a lot of unlimited thoughts, grounding yourself will allow you to realize that you can relax, you can breathe, and that you need to focus on what's in front of you. So breathing, when you take, your breaths in, you're able to alleviate the anxiety, which is allowing to give your body oxygen, which will go to your brain, which will regulate and understand and help you with your nervous system. You want to focus on your inhales and your exhales as long as you need. So breathing is one of the best things you can do to feel familiar with yourself so you do not cause yourself any form of panicking attack. You want to write down what you're feeling. So like I said, getting a notebook or a piece of paper, and rather it's every day or when you're going through something, or vocalizing and surrounding yourself, or taking some time to yourself. You also, if you can, physically, they say scientifically proven, you can take a cold shower. That's something that I do. So when I'm in the shower, I usually like my water to be warm, and I don't mind taking cold showers. I never realized that, because when I was depressed, I used to take cold showers all the time. I didn't know why, but it makes sense. If you're having anxiety or you're depressed, taking a cold shower. And what I mean by a cold shower is, let's just say you like the water to be warm like me. As you're about to end your shower, turn the water onto cold or to medium cold, and you can learn to practice and regulate by, doing this as effectively as needed. But turning the water to cold, and before you get out the shower for like 30 seconds to a minute, or however long you take your shower, is just sitting underneath the cold water. The cold water is going to make your body and your nerves respond to realize that you need to be grounded. So, how do you clear your mind from anxiety? You breathe, so you regulate your breathing. You take your time breathing. You express how you feel. And once again, it doesn't have to be every day, but whenever you feel like you're going through something and you want to start grounding yourself. So, if you're out in public and you feel overwhelmed, take a moment, pause, and look. Find 2 to 3 things that you can point out that is in front of you to help you stay focused. So same thing. I have a Lysol can. I have lipstick, and let's just say a pen. Let's just say that. Stop. Look at the Lysol. Focus. Breathe. Look at the pen. Focus. Breathe. Look at the lipstick, Carmex, and breathe. And you want to do this every day if you can. So before you start your day, and I believe in structure. For me, I have to have some type of routine or structure. It doesn't have to go exactly like at the specific time, but for me, I like to be organized. I'm a very organized individual. So before I start my day, before I wake up, 30 minutes to an hour, I take time before I get up out my bed and make my bed. During that time, what I suggest and advise is that you practice meditation, you practice your breathing, and that's something that I'm going to be doing, that I need to get back into, is my breathing. Like, I've been meditating, but breathing and meditating are 2 different things. Meditating is grounding yourself, but to really calm down your breathing so you can be at a still meditation is different. So surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Always understand that when you have negative thoughts, where it's coming from. So you want to question your thought pattern. You want to be able to write down how you're feeling so you're able to understand what's triggering you. And you also want to practice being focused, so grounding yourself, as well as going for a walk. You can exercise, you can yoga, and understanding that you want to stay active. So regular exercise is good for your physical and your emotional health, as well as meditating, practicing breathing, and if you can, learning to go to bed early. And in order for you to get on a schedule, if you may not have one, and like I said, it doesn't have to be as detail oriented as mine, but before you go to bed, give yourself 10 minutes to yourself, or 5 minutes before you go to bed. Turn off your phone or stay off your phone and just sit there until you're able to go to sleep. And in order to get better at getting sleep and resting, you have to practice. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Live your life, and don't forget to say YOLO.